Well, if we could have just had a sign, any sign, just to keep us from danger, we would have taken any hint at all. Hi, I'm Russ. That's Rebecca behind you. That's Bear. Hey, Bear. There's Azalea, or Zadie, back there. We're riding in our new Sprinter van. And this is TwoMorrow's Adventures. I'm going to tell a story on how we got this. And of course, as usual, my stories vary from maybe how Rebecca sees them. However, this is the story I see. A few months ago, we were on an auction, and I saw this Sprinter van pop up for availability. I was really excited about it. Didn't do a ton of research into it. Rebecca, on the other hand, will do a million times more research than I will about everything. But I said, hey, why don't we wait till tomorrow? We'll talk about it when the auction's about ready to expire. And I was traveling. I called and texted at least 24 times in the last hour. And she didn't answer the phone. So I made an executive decision. Show them what we got. So I have a very loving wife and understanding. Took some coaxing. But we are on our very first adventure. And off we go. Our next stop was Monument Valley. This was amazing. To be able to sit there, and they have a drive-through pathway for off-road vehicles. So we took the van down this. Now, I did speed the camera up 4 times on this, so it shows how slow we were going. I was a little disheartened when we were passed by a Prius. But hey, I didn't want to break anything, at least not on the first day. Now, this is an iconic area that John Wayne had the great, famous shot in a movie where he sat on a horse on top there. As we were traveling through this, they had many different names of these big memorials, the Twin Sisters and the Window. And, it took about 3 or 4 hours to go through this, stop and take photos. Pretty amazing as you go through this. Now, this is on the Navajo Nation, so it is not a national park. If it wasn't on the Navajo Nation, I'm sure it would be. This was pretty fantastic. It was kind of a backyard Disneyland. They were able to, you let us go and we drove around. An iconic overview as you pull up. Look at that. You won't see that anywhere else. Just amazing. Now, to finalize this part of the trip, came up to Forrest Gump Hill. It's the iconic area where he finished his run. This is tonight's boondocking spot. San Juan River down at the bottom there. They just played in it. They had a great time and they're tired out. We got a nice moon tonight. Free camping.
And that could be why they call it the Mexican hat. Right there. Look at that.
This is the Valley of the Gods. It's outside of a place called Mexican Hat where we stayed last night. We are headed north to Moab. We're going to treat ourselves right tonight. We're going to go and stay at a nice little RV spot
hooked up with all sorts of power and showers and all sorts of things. So, all right, there's the van.
As we headed into Moab, we went up to the Dead Horse Point in Moab, where the scenery was stunning, but really the center of attention was the dogs and their booties, because it was warm.
Yeah.
They were having a little hard time understanding the sound of a bunch of horses clip-clopping up to the edge of the cliff here.
It's so mean to make you walk. Leave it.
I got him.
Dead Horse Point was famous because it has a grim history where the cowboys used to round up the wild horses. These wild horses got stuck at the end, and many died as they fell off the edge. They were kind of trapped in this corralled area. So that's what the name Dead Horse Point is. It overlooks the river that goes into
Leave it on.
right outside of Moab here.
Good boy.
I'm not gonna lie. I still think we got a cool license plate.
This is one of my favorite places in the entire world. It's Bear Lake. It's on the Utah-Idaho border. You can tell the dogs were, again, center of attention. They would stay out there all day if they could.
All right, Tom, what are we doing?
Boating. Post
All
this
right.
on YouTube.
How about you? What are you gonna end up doing?
Surf.
Surf?
Kate's
Lizzie?
gonna go without the rope, and I'm gonna try to get my 360.
Yo, what's good? Yo.
Just here to drive?
Just driving, not touching that water. It's too cold.
Bear Lake is known as the Caribbean of the West because of the beautiful water, very clean. We've had this cabin, or really it's a compound. It's got 19 bedrooms now. We've had it since the late 60s, where my family's been going up for years for big extended vacations, big parties. But this happens to be my mother's week. Now, Katie, as she's surfing here, had never let go of the rope before. Look at that big grin. She's so proud. We're so proud of her. Everyone was cheering. That's Ryan. Ryan's my nephew, and he's gotten to be kind of a little expert. Now, unfortunately, my camera battery died, and I wasn't able to get the other two nieces and nephews, but you got to look at this dismount right here. Boom. Stuck it.
I like onion squash.
Hey Russ, what are you doing?
Doing, I don't know, trailer park pizzas. Ryan.
Yo!
And this is why we love Bear Lake.
The dogs were always ready to just keep going. What's next? What's next? We gotta go.
So I was worried Rebecca didn't make it up to the top. I'm looking around. And then I realized she's up there taking pictures, hanging off the edge.
There was definitely a sign saying, "Do not go off the trail." This is Bryce Canyon. Bryce Canyon is one of the more underrated national parks we have. It's smaller in size, but it's a perfect day trip. The iconic hoodoos are the things that stick up. They're all made because of an ancient lake called Lake Bonneville. This lake has eroded these rock formations over thousands and millions of years to create these spectacular views that we were able to see.
What are you working on?
What are you working on?
Trying to catch you in your sun gear.
Sun gear.
Look at how the water line levels out on all those.
Now, on our drive to Lake Powell, which was our next step, we had to head south, and we had this giant fire in the north rim of the Grand Canyon. It was quite sad, actually, because we had just been to that historic North Rim lodge that had definitely was amazing, been there for years. It burned down during this fire. Now, this fire was so huge. In fact, it's, as far as I know, still going on right now, but it was so huge it was creating its own climate. It blocked out the sun. It was just amazing to see what nature can happen with this. Now again, if we just had a sign, anything that would have protected us against, I don't know, dangerous.
Rocks, whatever those are, huh? Get out of the sand if we have to.
All right, so that sucked. What do you think, Beck? All right, story goes, I'm smarter than my smartest uncle. When we talked to Rick, he goes, "You're going down to the beach at Lake Powell. Don't get stuck in the sand." Yeah, probably should have listened. So we get stuck going down, and then we were worried about where we're going to be with the dogs because there were a bunch of other dogs around and driving up and down the beach. And apparently we got stuck in the place called the Sandbox. That makes sense. And this guy stopped, helped us. Nothing moving. Well, I didn't realize how electronic stability control works, and I probably should go through the van at some point. Give everybody the tips and tricks on what I learned, because you don't want to do what I did. That turns off the traction control, and so we can actually get power out of the van. Figured out how to do that, but by that point we'd called the tow trucks, and when I say tow trucks, we got a Jeep and 2 trucks.
Grayson. Deep sand.
I got stuck 5 times between the time we were stuck and the time we got out along the way. They pulled me from the back and they pulled me from the front. We drove up the hill, got stuck there. Didn't worry about the van falling apart because it's bouncing all over the place. Then the windstorm started. All right, holding it together. Whew. Oh, that rattled and shook all over the place. Let's see what that's next. All right, we're on a hard spot. Now they're gonna guide me. I'm not hooked up anymore. And we'll make sure we get there. I'm gonna just leave it rolling and see what happens. He says, go and haul ass. Let's go and haul ass. That would be hauling ass. And meanwhile, Beck had taken the dogs up. And I didn't know where she was at, but I wasn't going to stop. I'd find her anyway. Luckily, we found her on the way, and she jumped in with the dogs. He got pulled all the way up to the asphalt. Gave the 2 guys who came for the tow truck company $200. The guy that was helping us down there got $50, and it's 97 degrees. I got sand everywhere. Dogs are exhausted. Look at this. Look at the dogs. Hurry.
We were just walking in a sandstorm.
Yeah. And what an adventure.